initial thoughts. I want to know what your initial thoughts were, like episode 1, and them being like picked for Traitor. What did you think of
Yeah.
that?
Okay. I thought Dan was going to. I had a feeling Dan was going
Yeah.
to. Um, Phaedra, who I don't know, like I don't watch half the
Same.
shows, so I don't know
Yeah.
everybody, right? But I love her. She's
Yeah.
she's awesome and she's
She's
good at
good.
it. And is she Married to Medicine? Is that her show?
I don't know. I think
No,
she's
what is she?
Housewives. She's
She's a
Housewives.
housewife?
Yeah.
Phaedra's
That's
a housewife. Okay, but she's not like a competitive show, and she's doing really well, very
yes.
well.
Yes.
I thought for sure Sandra would be picked from Survivor because she
Yeah.
no. So, okay, so the obvious traitors would have been Sandra from Survivor because she's Queen Traitor,
Mhm.
and Bananas and
Yeah.
Dan. Those
Yeah.
were the three that would be obvious picks. So they did pick
Yeah.
one of them. Um, how about you? What did you think of the first two? Why is my little
Oh
thing
my gosh.
shaking?
So of course
There we
I
go.
literally screamed out loud. My boyfriend was like, "You're gonna wake up the kids." When Dan was picked, because Dan, Dan's my
Hi,
guy.
Lori.
I
Yep.
love him. But
Yes. Yes. I
I
was so
I
excited
was
for you.
thinking I was thinking either CT or Johnny, and I was thinking CT more because Johnny would be a little more obvious.
Obvious.
But
Mm-hmm.
seeing CT say he wanted to be a faithful, I was like, well, I don't think he'll be
Yep.
them. But
Exactly.
I wasn't expecting them to only pick 2. I thought it would be 3 like last
Right.
season. So
Right.
the recruiting was really cool.
Very interesting. Yep.
Yeah.
And I was surprised at the people they picked because um Janelle would be obvious
Right.
because Dan and Big Brother, right?
Yeah.
I thought Sandra would be obvious because she's a villain. And then
Yeah.
Parvati's not really a villain. But she's very good. So
Okay.
like I thought she was kind of obvious, but she also had the thing going for her where she was playing as a faithful to begin with. So she wasn't she wasn't acting like a faithful. She was a faithful. So like
Yeah.
that was a good thing for her to have. Although I feel like now she's a little too obvious. Like her demeanor has changed just a little bit, but not a
Pressure's
lot.
on, maybe.
Yes. The drums. How amazing were the drums? I was
The
like, I
what?
got the drums when they drove up.
Oh my gosh.
And I had goosebumps.
The
I'm like, oh my God,
Janine,
I'm
I
too
had
excited.
goosebumps the whole time. The whole
Yes,
time.
right?
The
Too
music,
excited for
the
the show.
sounds, the ambiance, it was beautiful.
The
Beautiful.
editing. So they're in the little cars and Parvati saying, I guess I wouldn't want to see Sandra. And then they go to the car and there's Sandra. It's like, I loved all the editing.
CT waving to Bananas. Oh,
Yes.
Janelle and Dan hugging.
Yes. Oh
I
my
loved
gosh.
it.
Trishelle and CT awkwardness. I forgot what happened between them. Does anyone know what happened between Trishelle and CT? Because I
I
don't
don't.
watch all the seasons of the challenge. It's something that happened on the challenge, I think.
Yeah, I'm sure. I watched them, but like so long ago.
I know. That's
And
the thing.
quickly.
It's like I don't remember any.
Yeah.
I'm not. So episode 1, we meet the people. They interview with Alan. Oh my God, that first outfit with Alan was so good. And then his dog is Lala. Give them Lala. Like that's all I thought of.
I'm cracking up at
You think of
myself.
Give them Lala?
Listen, Janine, I don't know
Yes.
when this happened, but I noticed the dog in one scene and I'm like, oh, Alan has his cat. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. And then I got up and I'm like,
no.
oh, wait, it's a dog. Sorry, Lala.
Oh, that's so funny.
No, but that's cute. That's a cute dog.
He looks fab. Yes, he does, Cat.
He does.
Okay, so Alan, we meet the thing. They pick the traitors. We do the mission. What was the first mission? The first mission was...
It was being tied up, and Janelle was like,
oh,
I'm out of here.
Yeah, exactly. Go get the shield. And they had to make the puzzle in the water, right?
Yes, in the water.
Okay, come on. 10 minutes to get that puzzle together, and then 10 seconds for all of them to go. We fixed that time, didn't we, traitors? Come on. There's no way they all got back in 10 seconds.
No, I really think it's almost like Squid Games when they're like, oh, it's 5 minutes for
exactly.
where it's
and then
40.
The people up top on the raft couldn't figure it out, but now all of a sudden the people in the water are like, oh, it's this one and this one. I'm like, how do you... But maybe it's like where they connect. I don't know. But anyway, we're talking traitors, and there will be spoilers for the first 3 episodes.
What did you think of the traitors' first banishment? Or first murder, I should say.
I was so mad because he
Were you?
introduced me so much. I love bananas.
He's
But it was
entertaining. I gotta
smart.
give him that.
It was smart. Did you see him on House of Villains? Like,
Yeah.
so good, right?
Yeah.
But I think it was a smart move. Like, get someone big out fast because he could get on to who is a traitor.
Mhm.
Although, do you want to keep him around to win money? But they're also winning money without him, so
I know.
hindsight's 2020.
I thought it was hilarious in his like confessional diary room thing. He's like, "Well, I don't want to toot my own horn, but it's going to be a little boring now."
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, he's not wrong though, because when it was like the first episode, the intro, it was like all bananas. Like he had all the best lines.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, he had such good lines. He said something. I took notes. I rewatched the episode 3 because I was trying to get the round table stuff. Because that was like I was watching that at like midnight, right? And so I couldn't remember quite. But there was some line that he said. Oh my God, it was so I can't even remember who it was, what he said. But there was also one from Sandra who someone was asking. I forgot who she was asking about. Maybe Max. I think it was when Max walked in the room.
Oh yeah,
and then
yeah,
he
yeah.
walked out. He did that like 3 times, 3 different
Yeah.
times. Like, that's not suspicious. And
That's
someone's
not
like, why
what
did
you
you do
do.
that? And Sandra goes, he's irrelevant.
Yeah, he's irrelevant.
He's irrelevant. That's Sandra. That was good. So Sandra had a couple of good lines.
Sandra and Parvati. Am I saying her name? Am I saying her name right?
Parvati. Yeah, I think.
Okay. What's their deal together? What's their beef?
They were so Parvati said it in one thing. She came in second to Sandra.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Sandra's she will lie to your face. But Parvati's also really good. They had a whole like idol situation. Oh, Survivor's so good. You should watch Survivor. Like a whole like flip flop of like getting people in. But they are good. They are very good players. Sandra's won twice.
Yeah, that's what Dan said.
Yeah, she's won twice. Like, can you imagine winning and she won in a season where it wasn't all returnees. Like, the 2 comments I put on Twitter were so it was Kevin and I forgot who the other guy was. Oh, I think it was Pete, Pilot Pete.
Oh yeah.
And they were like, how embarrassing would it be to be the first one out? I'm like, oh my God, are one of those guys the first one out? But they weren't.
I saw that.
Yeah. So Kevin, I don't know. He's on
Kevin clearly. So we don't know Kevin. What's he from?
Bling Empire.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know Kevin, but Kevin seems to not know anything about reality competition.
Oh my God. Was he the one that was saying, what's the challenge?
Yeah, he goes, wait, no.
Like, it's called the challenge.
Janelle goes, he won the challenge. He goes, what challenge? No, the show, the challenge.
And then she's like, who doesn't know the challenge?
Bergie,
he's like this lovable goof, right? But I'm like, I don't know him from Love Island. I don't watch Love Island, so I don't know him. But he cracked me up in the beginning. He's like, people probably think I'm like this simple-minded blah, and I'm like, I do. I think that. But then he pulled it out in that cemetery one.
Yep.
So good. That was good. Okay, yes. What about the Janelle Ekansu shield? I watched it again today, and I'm like, I think Janelle had her hand on there first, but I don't know. It's too hard to tell. What do you think?
It looked like they were both. It looked like the guy and Janelle were there, and it did look like she did sneak up last minute. I'm gonna have to watch it again, but I don't. Right.
So Pete, because Pete already had a shield, and Pete and Janelle went over, and she's like, "Can I have that one?" And she went in, and Ekansu. Oh my God, I'm gonna say her name wrong, and people's fans are gonna hate me.
The thing about Peppermint is, I liked her. But it's just the fact that she didn't mean to, but she kept kind of like digging the hole for herself. I mean, I know Trishelle kind of was like surprised by her reaction, which I don't know. To me, if I seen her react that way, I would have known like it was a joke. I'm joking. You're joking back.
I know.
The reaction was, her expression was joking back. Like she's going to be a little bit extra. That's it.
Yeah, like I feel like Trishelle had it out for her.
Yeah,
like,
it was
I feel
weird.
Like she targeted her. Like
it was weird.
It's like a Trishelle thing to do, in my opinion.
Is it? Like, yeah, I'm not too like I know her.
I watched. She was like challenged so long ago, and she was she Road Rules or Real World? Someone help me out before she got on the challenge. Remember the Real World Road Rules challenges? Like that was the original challenge. Those were good. But. So here's
But
my
anyway,
thing
she was
about
digging herself.
Trishelle.
Peppermint was digging herself a hole.
Why didn't, here was my, oh, she was, but like, then I'm thinking like, but I do that. So like, you know, when you like, I totally mix up. So say I'm like, you know, I need to go outside today. Like I haven't been outside. I'm like, I need to go inside today. I haven't been, like you mix up the words
Yeah,
that are
it
like
happens.
similar. So like,
It
she meant
does.
to say we need to get out of Faithful, but the traitor popped in her head. Like, I'm like, that would, that would be me. And then I'd be out. But here's my thing. I feel like the traitors should have hopped on that and been like, Trishelle, you are really pushing to get us to get Peppermint out. That's kind of traitor behavior to put the
That's true.
you know, the push onto someone else.
Yep, I agree.
That I would have been like, get Trishelle, get her. Like, oh, that's so obvious. You're a traitor trying to like totally pin someone over something stupid as not liking your joke, which was kind of stupid. Like, I was like, she didn't deliver it very funnily.
No.
Very funny.
My whole chat's like, Trishelle had it out. Trishelle had it out for her.
She did have it out for her, right?
Real world Las Vegas is what someone said she's from.
Yes. Oh my God, I used to watch all the Real World, but I'm too old
to
remember half of them. Oh, well, you're younger than me.
I know.
I was the right age to watch them all. Oh, I loved them. I kind of stopped in the later years, but I watched a lot of all the. I watched.
I do remember them. Like I remember.
And then Road Rules.
I remember seeing them on my TV.
Oh my God! And then the Real World Road Rules challenges were so freaking awesome.
I'm worried for Dan.
Yeah. Okay. So here's my notes.
MO.
Right. So this is episode 3. We're kind of talking about people because we're worried for Dan. But here's my notes. Okay. So because I went back to the roundtable, I'm like, who was saying it, MJ or Larsa? So MJ was the one who I also don't know from her show.
Same.
She is on Shaws of Sunset. I don't watch that.
No.
So she says to Dan, which I'm like, this is kind of a stupid argument. So she says, I think you're playing it safe. If we all did that, there wouldn't be a discussion. So I'm like, it makes it seem like if we all did that, that's talking about the faithfuls. So if all the faithfuls did that, there wouldn't be discussion. So do you think he's a faithful? Like, why would you put it on him and ask people to vote for him? If you think he's a faithful, you want to get a traitor out.
Yeah.
Right. That was my thinking. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
Okay. So that's what MJ said.
Yeah.
And then Larsa said, here's my notes.
I love it.
I put Alan's outfits, a little fire, I don't know if you can see that, little fire symbol. Okay.
That's so cool.
And I put the people who are in the room at the end, so we can talk about that after. So Larsa said, he has calm energy, which uneases her. Okay, that's not that could be traitor-like in her mind, right? That's not a faithful thing.
I'm good at this.
I know.
Yeah, go ahead.
He's good at playing these games. Okay, and Dan could be a killer. Do you mean in real life? What are you talking about? So hers was more traitor-like, right? Like that was kind of.
She was sitting there. Swear to God, I'm like, why is she calling him a serial killer right now?
Right? Like,
like she was like calling him out. I'm like, what?
So I'm like, but
don't come at my man. First of all,
how Dan was Dan's responses to them.
Oh my God, I am in love with him playing this game. Janine,
I know.
He is amazing.
Didn't you just get Funeral Dan vibes?
Funeral Dan vibes.
He was responding.
Chills.
Getting Marcus out makes perfect sense because he was the most trusted person. And everyone's like, why Marcus? I'm like, why not? Like, what? Why is everyone so shocked that Marcus was gone when they said he's the one we trust the most? Like, why wouldn't they get rid of Marcus?
Very influential. Yeah.
And then Det showed Dan, like, hey, you better step up your game. Because people think you're, what was his thing? Too quiet? Too quiet, yeah. Exactly.
And that's his whole thing. And he's like, well, I guess I might have to change up my strategy. I'm like, damn.
Exactly. But I did like this go, and I loved that Peppermint was like, it's me, you know. And they're like, no,
yeah, the popular. I'm like sitting there, I'm like, I don't know, because I really don't know. It didn't show them enough for me to understand that.
Right.
So I'm like, I really thought it was Peppermint because she's so out there and so, you know what I mean, just a wicked extrovert. So I'm like, oh, it's gotta be her. And I was right. I was right with her. She's like, and then they showed her, she's like, see?
Exactly.
I know they got rid of two very entertaining people so far, but that is the game.
Okay. So I think that's pretty much for episodes 1 and 2, right?
The Scarecrows in the next competition for gameplay. Yeah, that was a really good one.
That was a really good one. And then people going right to the back for the shields. That was pretty funny.
Yeah. Oh, Dan was one of them, wasn't he?
And he's the one that got it. Yeah. And then John went for it. Who, again, John is like, he's not smart either, because Janelle's like, oh, he totally said I have asthma. Not I used to have asthma. And then someone's like, do you have an inhaler? He's like, no. Like, he's weird. He's weird.
Yeah, as they're running, he's running faster than everyone on
He's like, catch up, everybody. I'm like,
and I think it was Tamara Judge, and she's like, do you have it? You sure you don't have your inhaler? And he's like, no. And she's like, well, I thought you had asthma.
Exactly. And then oh my God, I forgot who said, was it Larsa who said, I think Parvati's a traitor because I heard Alan's sleeve move.
Yeah.
Which, he said, but she wasn't even a traitor at that point.
Right.
That was like in the beginning. I was like, ooh, she's just throwing everyone under the bus. So you could also point to Larsa.
Yep.
As like, just start throwing out people that are pushing others. And like, you say it's bad to be quiet, but you're also just the first one to throw someone out under the bus. Oh, now it's them. And like, you were wrong these 2 times. So why should we start trusting you? Maybe you are a traitor. Like, you got to flip this around, people. Right?
I know. And okay. I don't know.
So at the end, when they had to do that, who's going to drink out of that nasty chalice? Come on.
I know. I want to see it happen. What?
I know. Okay, so here's who was in the room. So let's guess who we think it's going to be.
Okay.
In the room was Trishelle.
Yep.
Janelle, who has a shield.
Yep.
Right? Dan, who's a traitor.
Right.
MJ, Ekin-Su, Pete, who has a shield, and Bergie.
Okay.
So she's already said MJ's not going to drink out of this. So it's down between Trishelle, Ekin-Su, and Bergie. I think it's going to be Trishelle, but it could also be Bergie.
I was thinking Bergie. I think Bergie.
What?
I think Bergie only because he's the most vulnerable. I think he'll take it.
And Goofy, like, okay, I'll take it.
But you're right. Like, I want to know, like, what does she do to get them to drink it? Because if you guys have seen this cup, it is
and she's carrying it. She's so suspicious. She's like carrying it with her everywhere and moving it around the whole time. What did I write down? Okay, this is what I wrote down. Parvati handling the chalice made me nervous. Like stop moving that cup. Like, you look so odd. Although they didn't seem to be bothered, but then did you watch the previews?
Yes.
Okay, they're all like, she's supposed to be dead. And then
and another guy.
Like, I would What?
They said she and he at one point.
And a guy said, I was supposed to be dead. So you remember how Alan said it's a long-lasting poison, and then they're all dressed in their funeral gear? I wonder if there's a chance for them to save whoever took the poison and they don't go away. Because, like, how is someone supposed to be dead and they're not?
I don't know, but I'm telling you right now, the twists that they're throwing at us this season are great.
I know.
Secret player, who could that be? Sari? Is Sari back?
Oh my God, wouldn't that be awesome?
Honestly, though, who would it be?
So what does that mean, though? Like, they won't be there?
That to me means comeback. Someone said it's a comeback.
I think it's Bananas. Someone with a white coat and Bananas is kind of stylish. I'm just hoping it's Bananas.
Bananas? I said a whole thing today. I was like, I like you. I was like, I love you, Bananas, but do not come for my man. He's trying to start
he was trying to start a Twitter war? Oh.
He's trying to start a Twitter war. Bananas. Like, Dan's not even on Twitter, okay? He has class.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Like, oh, he's not. Yeah, that's funny. But that is Bananas. Come on. That's exactly what he would
do. It is. I said that to my boyfriend. I said, first of all the challengers, like Trishelle, and it's Trishelle and Peppermint is on Twitter too. It's like all the challengers, they love to hop on Twitter and start a Twitter war with each other.
Exactly. Yep.
He killed me on
All right.
villains. Oh,
What do
he
we
was so
think?
good
Should we
on
do
villains.
final thoughts? Oh, what does my thing say? Oh, good connection. Okay. Said
Yes.
unstable.
You'd share yours because I've shared a lot.
No, I feel like I share a lot. Okay, so we'll do both of them. I'll do mine. Final thoughts. Love it. So excited. I can't believe I was this excited for the show, and it held up to everything I thought it would be. Um, and I like the three traitors. I'm a fan of Phaedra, and what did we say she was on? Oh, she's Real Housewives of Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
So I'm definitely watching it now. It's got Candy
Yeah.
and her. Come on, not Candy. Am I saying it right? I
What?
don't know. And I want them to get MJ out, but they can't because that would be too obvious. So I feel like I want them to start pushing other people.
Yeah.
And then like, oh no, we were wrong. Hold back. And then be like, well, now we think it's this for like another, so just kind of like play the game and ebbs and flows. Like they're not doing that yet. And I thought it was cute that Phaedra, who's Phaedra protecting? Oh my God, I didn't even write her name down. I forgot who she is. Cherie. What is Cherie on? What's she on?
Oh God, probably Real Housewives. I'm telling you, they're all from Real Housewives.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I
Chat, who's Cherie? Where's Cherie from?
Yeah, what's Cherie on?
Real Housewives of Atlanta, thank you. See?
She
so
is?
Same as her.
Okay, all right. I like her too. Okay, good.
So now you have double the reason to
protecting her. Exactly. Oh my God, that's my show. Okay. All right, so those are my thoughts. How about you?
What's your final thoughts are, I was freaking out in the beginning, and now I'm scared. Because, the show in general is amazing. The editing is amazing. The twists are amazing. The fact that they're adding the shields in so early are really fun. Yeah. But I'm very scared for Dan because people are catching on to him and they're literally clocking him. He has been clocked.
He has been clocked.
Time will tell. But
I also like the shields. I feel like didn't last season it was like the winning team got to go in and like maybe get a shield.
Yeah,
and now it's like
the right end.
It's like show your game right away. Are you gonna go like I like that. I like this approach.
Yeah, I do too. I do too a lot.
Yep.
Thank you so much for hanging out with me, Janine. This was so much fun.
So we have Thursdays. They drop Thursdays at 9.
Okay.
So we can do right after the show, or we can do like the next day, whatever you want to do.
Whatever you want to do too. I'm here.
Okay, we'll figure it out.
Okay.